That's fine.
We got it. Don't pull. They don't want us to pull damage.
Thank you.
Yeah. What's he say? Now we can go up this way. Okay. Thank you. Yeah. Right here. Look at this. Check it out. They got it all open.
Except on the one that I grabbed.
Yeah. Of course.
Good afternoon. I want to take a second to recognize our Board of Regents that are in attendance. We've got Regent Montoya and Regent Edmondson over here. I'd also like to recognize President and Superintendent Major General Jerry Grizzle and Miss Shawn Grizzle. Commandant of Cadets Colonel Tate. Academic Dean Colonel Griego. And Athletic Director Jose Barone. Also in attendance, I want to thank the regimental staff, alumni, parents, and guests. Welcome to the New Mexico Military Institute Alumni Hall of Fame induction ceremony for the year 2023. Please stand for the national anthem sung by the New Mexico Military Institute Choir. Please be seated. Ladies and gentlemen, I am Chris Ward, Director of the Alumni Relations and Institutional Advancement Office. At this time, I would like to introduce NMMI Chaplain Jacob Graham, who will be providing the prayer.
Good afternoon. A little shorter than Chris. The book of Romans, chapter 13, verse 7. Pay to all what is owed to them. Taxes to whom taxes are owed. Revenue to whom revenue is owed. Respect to whom respect is owed. Honor to whom honor is owed. Today we gather together to give respect and honor to these distinguished men who, after a life of duty, honor, and achievement, have been recognized and accepted into the New Mexico Military Institute Hall of Fame. Let us pray. Lord of all creation, we praise you, for you abundantly give and abundantly bless. As we gather together to enjoy this meal and to enjoy this fellowship, knowing that in doing so, we thank you for this food and those who prepared it. We thank you for the accomplishments represented at these tables. We ask for your almighty hand to be upon these lives who are receiving their recognition due. Bless their lives with goodness and mercy. Help them to stay true to their dreams, to use their gifts wisely, and to walk into the future with faith, hope, and great love. In your majestic name we pray. Amen.
Thank you, Chaplain Graham. The New Mexico Military Institute Choir will now perform the Armed Forces Medley of the United States.
We invite the veterans in this audience to stand as your military song is being sung so that we might recognize you.
The New Mexico Military Institute Choir greatly appreciates this opportunity to perform for you today and thanks you for your kind attention. Cadets are dismissed so they can attend classes. At this time, Lieutenant Colonel Pat Orell, United States Army retired, NMMI class of 63 high school and 65 junior college, will present this year's inductees into the NMMI Hall of Fame.
Testing, can you hear me? All right. For eminence in a chosen field of endeavor, New Mexico Military Institute Hall of Fame. Kenneth McCoy, 1990 Junior College. Kenneth McCoy came to New Mexico Military Institute in August of 1988. He flourished in cadet life, following in his father's footsteps, and completed his first class year on the regimental staff, graduating in 1990. McCoy is a decorated hero, famous in the field of law enforcement. He is recognized nationally as a visionary for his work, reforming policing practices in ethnic communities and improving public safety through diversity, equity, and inclusion, called DEI, building relationships with local communities, and guiding teams and organizations with diplomacy, dignity, and fairness. McCoy has helped transform many departments nationwide. He was the first African-American chief of police of Anchorage, Alaska, and he now serves as the chief of police for Tempe, Arizona. During a time of national crises, McCoy has emerged as one of the nation's top leaders in law enforcement and public safety, rising to the top position in 2 major metropolitan police departments. His professional experience demonstrates his prominence in designing programs, policies, strategies, and initiatives that promote rapid crisis management and emergency response and a positive culture of accountability, transparency, and inclusivity. McCoy is a United States Army veteran who served 10 years in the Alaska Army National Guard and was honorably discharged as a captain in 2000. In addition to being a New Mexico Military Institute graduate, he has a bachelor's degree in criminal justice from the University of Alaska Anchorage and a certificate in leading diversity from the University of Virginia Darden School of Business. He's a graduate of the FBI National Academy and the FBI National Executive Institute. Being chosen to attend the FBI Academy is an honor that is highly competitive and stands as the pinnacle of law enforcement education. Few officers get chosen for this honor, let alone twice, demonstrating that McCoy is rarefied among the absolute best in the nation. When McCoy speaks, he always acknowledges New Mexico Military Institute's role in making him the man he is today. Kenneth McCoy's consistent, outstanding performance while serving in law enforcement is in keeping with the New Mexico Military Institute's credo of duty, honor, and achievement. Inducted for eminence in a chosen field of endeavor this 27th day of October in the year 2023.
Ladies and gentlemen, cadets, I have so many people to thank today, but first and foremost, I have to thank God. I would not be standing here today if it weren't for the many blessings that I've received. It's truly humbling, and my heart is filled with gratitude. I would like to express my deepest gratitude to the New Mexico Military Institute, the Hall of Fame reviewing body, the Board of Regents, General Grizzle, and my fellow cadets for this incredible honor of being inducted into the NMMI Hall of Fame. It is truly a privilege to stand here before you all today and reflect on my remarkable journey that has led me here. My time as a cadet at NMMI has had a profound impact on shaping the person I am today. The core values of duty, honor, and achievement instilled in me during my time here has served as the guiding principles of my life. They have not only solidified my character, but also have guided me in every decision that I have made. One aspect that I cherish deeply from my NMMI experience are the lifelong friendships that were forged. The camaraderie and support that I have received from my fellow cadets have played a significant role in my personal growth. These friendships have stood the test of time and continue to inspire and motivate me to this day. The education that I received here at NMMI was nothing short of exceptional. Graduating in 1990 with my Associate in Arts degree was a significant milestone in my academic journey. It laid the foundation for my future endeavors, propelling me to pursue further education. I went on to earn a bachelor's degree in justice from the University of Alaska Anchorage, along with prestigious executive certificates from the University of Virginia Darden School of Business and the Harvard Business School. These educational achievements have opened the doors of opportunity and have equipped me with the knowledge and skills to excel in my chosen path. Enrolling in the early commissioning program, the ROTC early commissioning program here at NMMI, was a decision that I will forever be grateful for. I earned my commission as a U.S. Army Second Lieutenant. The invaluable lessons in leadership, discipline, and service that I gained here have been the bedrock of my military and law enforcement career. NMMI produces leaders. I proudly served for 10 years in the Alaska Army National Guard, receiving an honorable discharge at the rank of captain. My time in the military instilled a deep sense of duty, sacrifice, and a never-ending love for our country. During my military service, I decided to embark on a new path in law enforcement, which led me to join the Anchorage Police Department. Over the course of 27 years at the Anchorage Police Department, I held numerous command assignments, including roles in the Patrol Division, Detective Division, and Internal Affairs. I gained extensive experience as a detective, supervising special investigations into violent crimes and overseeing our Special Victims Unit, which handles sensitive sexual assault cases. I dedicated myself to serving and protecting my community, eventually retiring as the first African-American police chief in the department's 100-year history. It was an honor and privilege to lead and make a difference in the lives that I served. My journey then led me to serve on the executive team for Providence Health System in Alaska and Washington. Providence is an organization that spans Alaska, Washington, Oregon, California, Texas, and New Mexico, with over 100,000 employees. In this role, I had the opportunity to promote culturally competent, patient-centered care and to advocate for the well-being of caregivers and the community across the Providence family of organizations. When I reflect on all of my accomplishments, from being a young second lieutenant in the Army to rising through the ranks to become the first African-American police chief at the Anchorage Police Department, I'm proudly reminded of the many, many people who helped me along the way. There were the instructors and TAC officers and fellow cadets who supported me during my time here at NMMI. There were the commanding officers and senior enlisted soldiers who took me under their wing as I entered the military as a young lieutenant. There were the men and women in uniform who stood by my side for 27 years, helping me keep our city safe. There were the leaders at Providence who provided me with the opportunity to continue to serve after I retired from the police department. And there were the citizens of Alaska who rallied behind me and supported my every effort. These and many, many others who have partnered with me over the years, I couldn't thank you more. I couldn't have done it without you. However, at my core, I'm a public servant. For more than 30 years as a member of the Alaska Army National Guard, the Anchorage Police Department, and Providence, I've dedicated my life to guiding teams and organizations with diplomacy, dignity, and fairness to advance the safety and well-being of my community and country. Over the course of my career, my greatest sense of accomplishment and pride has come from bringing law enforcement and the community together. So earlier this year, I left Providence to return to law enforcement, a place that has always remained in my heart. I was called to Arizona, where I currently serve as the Chief of Police of the Tempe Police Department. This opportunity to lead and serve once again has been immensely fulfilling, and I'm grateful for the chance to make a positive impact on the Arizona community that I now call home. As I reflect today, I must send love to my brothers, Kirk, Keith, and Kevin, and my other family members across the country. I thank God every day for my 97-year-old grandmother, Queen, and my mother, Patsy, back in Virginia. They couldn't be here with me today, but I know they're incredibly proud. I can't thank them enough for the love and encouragement they provided me as a young boy and the support they continue to provide me to this day. And none of my achievements would have been possible without the unwavering support of my beloved wife, Sue. For the past 35 years, she's been the rock, my inspiration, and my constant source of encouragement. I will forever treasure the notes and cards she wrote me during my days as a cadet here at NMMI. She reminded me of the strength and resilience I possessed. I love you, sweetheart. In addition to Sue, I am blessed with 3 wonderful adult children, Megan, Kenneth III, and Adriana. They have been my greatest motivation and have always been there to celebrate my successes and stand by me during the challenges. I'm also the proud grandfather to a grandson, Caden, who brings endless joy to our family. Lastly, I cannot express enough my gratitude to the New Mexico Military Institute. It was here that the seeds of my success were sown, and it is here that the foundation of my life was built. The values, the education, and the experience I gained at NMMI have been instrumental in shaping me into the person I am today. And for that, I will forever be grateful. Thank you all for sharing this special moment with me and for your unwavering support throughout my journey. May we continue to inspire and uplift one another as we strive for excellence. God bless you all, and thank you.
For eminence in a chosen field of endeavor, New Mexico Military Institute Hall of Fame. Robert W. Curley, Jr., 1998, Junior College. Excuse me. Commander, United States Navy, retired. Robert Curley, Jr. came to New Mexico Military Institute as part of the United States Naval Academy's prep program in August of 1997. He enjoyed cadet life, playing on the Bronco tennis team, making the Dean's List, and was on his way to graduating junior college in the class of 1999 when he was accepted to the United States Naval Academy in June of 1998. He graduated from the United States Naval Academy in 2002. Curley spent his entire career flying naval aircraft in both peacetime and as a pilot and senior leader in a frontline FA-18 combat squadron. He served as flight student, FA-18 Strike Fighter Tactics Level 3 instructor pilot, VFA 34 FA-18 FRS instructor pilot, and VFA 106, where he instructed pilots and navigators in all phases of the FA-18 training syllabus. In September 2009, he was selected to be a Blue Angels pilot and training officer for the United States Navy Blue Angels. The Blue Angels team has the goal to inspire a culture of excellence and service to country. They began in 1946, and the team has the honor of representing the hundreds of thousands of men and women who serve in the United States Navy and Marine Corps to audiences both at home and abroad, showcasing the excitement, precision, and power of naval aviation. This precision flying team performed for more than 22 million people throughout the United States. He served as a demonstration pilot and in addition served as an instructor pilot for the new Blue Angels pilots. He was also responsible for the airborne safety of each air show they participated in. Curley also attended the Naval Postgraduate School in Monterey, California, receiving dual master's degrees, the Executive Master of Business Administration and the Master of Arts in Security Studies, both in 2013. He also holds a Bachelor of Science in Mechanical Engineering from the United States Naval Academy, Annapolis, Maryland. Commander Robert W. Curley Jr.'s consistent, outstanding performance of his duties while serving in the United States Navy and his specific accomplishments while serving with the Blue Angels team is in keeping with the New Mexico Military Institute's credo of duty, honor, and achievement. Inducted for eminence in a chosen field of endeavor this 27th day of October in the year 2023.
I'll tell you, that's a tough speech to follow. That's you set the bar high. I'm incredibly honored to stand up here with amongst all of you today, and especially the fellow Hall of Famers and alumni. I honestly don't feel like I deserve it. Hearing your story and everything you've accomplished, and the many other alumni. And I'll talk about that here in a second. But first of all, thank you to the Board of Regents, General Grizzle, Colonel Ward and his staff, alums Marcus Lovato, Tom Sylvester, Robert Black, Andrew Killicoff, and alum and Hall of Famer Jim Geibel for the push and the nomination and getting me, and Jordy also for getting me here into the Hall of Fame. So thank you. Also, just want to say a thank you to my family, my parents. I can't imagine as a father myself, dropping your oldest child off at school for the first time and driving away, but fortunate to have my dad here with me from Florida. My mom could not make it, and then with school, my kids are in school, so 12 and 9-year-old Cameron and Caitlin, my wife Jen, they're back home with that, but huge thank you to them, and also my brother Ryan. I used to have a really cool opportunity as a Blue Angel and travel the country, and there were lots of things I absolutely loved. But one of the really special opportunities was every week I got to visit a school, usually a high school, and they'd stack the auditorium or gymnasium, and I'd talk to them about inspiring the next generation, talk to them about leadership, but I'd always close with what I found more interesting, they probably did too, is what it was like to fly as a Blue Angel, and especially the second year's Blue Angel number 4. If you've ever seen the Blues, Blue Angel 4 makes up the diamond, and our first maneuver right out of the gate was our toughest. We would fly 12 to 18 inches apart, and I used to tell the students from where I sat, if I could take my hands off the stick and throttle, I'd be able to touch Blue Angel 3's wingtip on my left and Blue Angel 2's wingtip on my right, and they just kind of hover over my canopy about 350 miles an hour. And that was the first maneuver right out of the gate. And I'd always talk to them. I'd use that story as kind of a reminder that that doesn't happen overnight, right? There's lots of practice that goes into that, lots of teamwork. But I think the biggest part that was lost on them is it didn't even start in the beginning of that training session 6 or 9 months prior. And I can honestly say, and I told General Grizzle this too, everything goes back to the foundation that was laid here for me at New Mexico Military Institute. And it's incredible. I could not be more proud of this school and what it's given me, the opportunities it's given me. But I enjoyed reflecting also, and as I started to think back, I was like, wow, if I had talked to myself as a rat, and I'm sure most of you in here as well, I would not have shared the same sentiment. I think early on as a rat, maybe a month or two in, actually found myself walking into Colonel Seth O'Rell's office, and it's great to see you here, sir. And I was there because I was stuck. I was given a demerit and some marching tours. I don't remember exactly what it was for, but you had the opportunity to go see the commandant to try to make your case that what was given to you was not warranted. And so I walked into Colonel O'Rell's office. I popped to basically introducing myself, recruit at training Curly, and before I could say one other word, Colonel O'Rell stopped me. He said, "Cadet, I want you to look down at your pants. You see the crease on your pants? I can tell before you came in here, you just pulled them off the hanger. You didn't even bother ironing them this morning coming to see me. Look at your brass. Look at your name tag." And he just picked me apart and kicked me out of his office without me getting one other word. And you know, I share that story. I didn't know he was going to be here, so. I share that story because it's that story. It was very humbling at the time, so I went and did whatever was given to me at the time. But very humbling, it sticks with me because it's one of those intangible, invaluable lessons that this institution teaches. And so without this institution, I would have never had the academic background that taught me structure, leadership, academics. And that's incredibly important. But it's moments like that that you learn to look the part with your appearance, your uniform, stand up tall, make eye contact, handshakes, make sure your pants are ironed before you come in. Because without that, you might be the smartest guy in the room, you might have the best idea in the room, but you never even have an opportunity to speak. And that was so important throughout my career. And I want to kind of transition, just talk a little bit about the alumni that were here with me because I think they're doing incredible things and had an incredible impact on the community. I was fortunate to be part of the tennis team here. We had a very special group under Coach Gene Hardman. It's really neat to see the courts over there with his name on them. But Ilya, Ellisbon, Ronnie, Eddie, all of them, those on the tennis team are all doing phenomenal things within their own communities, entrepreneurs, leaders. It's really cool to see. And then my fellow alumni classmates from NMMI who went on to service, who are continuing to serve today, people like Mike Snowden, Luke Whitmer, who are both Army Special Forces helicopter pilot, who are still active today, both commanding officers, people like Dan Hancock, who just commissioned the Navy's newest destroyer as its commanding officer, took it to sea. And that's just a couple. There are phenomenal people, Elizabeth Krepp, who are doing just amazing things and making this institution so proud. And I think it's just so important as they continue to do great things. It shines back on this institution. It's so important. And the last person I want to recognize, probably one of my, well, not probably, my best friend here. So I came here from North Carolina, and there happened to be two of us that came here from North Carolina. Mark Garner was the other one. Two North Carolina boys. We became sorry, I get a little emotional talking about Mark. Two North Carolina boys who came here, became quick friends. And it's been so much fun over the last couple of weeks, reflecting with all of my classmates And they all said Mark would be so proud. We all talk about Mark like he's still with us, but Mark is one of those kids, one of those guys who just always has a smile on his face. And he was on his third tour in Afghanistan, between Iraq and Afghanistan in 2009 when his Humvee struck an IED and he was killed. And being here last night for Silver Taps, just knowing that this institution read his name makes me so proud of him and all the alumni here who continue to do great things. And so looking out there, seeing the cadets in the room, seeing the cadets out last night, and knowing what this institution is giving you, just that foundation, and more importantly, that intangible moment that when you do have the ability to speak up, others are going to be ready to listen. And so thank you again for this opportunity. It's amazing to be back with all of you, so thank you.
For distinguished service to New Mexico Military Institute. The New Mexico Military Institute Hall of Fame. James M. Raymond, 1953 high school, 1955 junior college. James Jim Raymond came to New Mexico Military Institute in 1949. He enjoyed cadet life and graduated from high school in 1953 and junior college in 1955. Raymond began his career in the oil and gas industry shortly after graduating from the University of Texas. He worked for Shell Oil in California in the mid-60s, specializing in land lease signing for oil drilling all over the country. While there, he became an off-road racing enthusiast, winning trophies and becoming enamored with the sport. Raymond went on to establish Jeep clubs, including the Way We Goes and the Gutter Hoppers, and still attends their jamborees. Raymond is regarded quite highly by colleagues and competitors alike for his forthright and honest dealings in the oil and gas industry of Texas. Raymond has also been a founding sponsor of the New Mexico Military Institute Alumni ATV Adventure, currently in its third year. Raymond has also participated in livestock shows and auctions. He has supported 4-H, and both his sons are active in it as well. He is famous in his local area for anonymously supporting livestock shows, hospital equipment, and school upgrades, along with supporting other community needs. His independent spirit and gregarious love of other people have made him a hero to many youth he has mentored along the way. Raymond has shown unwavering support to his alma mater. He was a key sponsor of many New Mexico Military Institute trail rides. He is named Top Hand in 2002. He also annually supports the General's Cup Golf Tournament for cadet scholarships. He is a lifetime member of the New Mexico Military Institute Foundation and has a sustained record of financial support to scholarships and other programs at the Institute that support cadets. He has maintained a record of giving for the past 4 decades and annually supports the Cross Saber Society. James M. Raymond's consistent record of support to the New Mexico Military Institute is in keeping with the New Mexico Military Institute's credo of duty, honor, and achievement. Inducted for distinguished service to New Mexico Military Institute this 27th day of October in the year 2023.
Well, this is not my cup of tea, but what can I say? These two gentlemen have said it all. I'd like to thank Jordy there for doing all the work to get me this honor, and the general, and my wife, Donna, and like it says on that emblem on your hat. There's duty, achievement, and honor. And it's our honor to be here. This is one of the greatest fraternities there are. And just remember, after 70 years, it's finally got to be my duty to help. So, hook 'em. I love you all.
Would all please remain standing for the singing of Old Post?
This is our
Honor, this is our stalwart institute. We'll ever always on our way. Memory with us day by day. We will remember cadets marching. We will remember cadets playing. And eagles in the sunrise, low up beneath blue skies. They have in our parish, no matter where we roam. Old friends, old post, place we love most. In you our hearts will flow. Thank you for attending today. Congratulations to the New Mexico Military Institute Hall of Fame class of 2023. Have a great homecoming.